Hey YouTube, coming at you with one of my more successful teams in a while. FROSLASS, CLODSIRE. So I started with okay, I use Nihilape, everyone's using Poliwrath, but Medi is still one of the best counter fighters in this league, right? So let's use Medi. Haven't used it in a while. I'm gonna run Dynamic Punch on this, so I'm gonna run it on the lead, just in case you see like an Azumarill stuff like that. You don't want to get locked without a move to throw. And then I'm like, okay, if I'm gonna get hit with something, I'm gonna get killed with Gligar. So let's put in double super effective Frostlass in the mid game there. Uh, and then, uh, why did I put in Clodsire? I put in Clodsire because honestly I forget the reason I put in Clodsire. I think I wanted something bulkier. Like Frostlass is a bit glassy, but it's pretty hard hitting. Medi's got obviously very good bulk and can grab shields. Clodsire, I think it's because I'm trying to think like something like, oh no, it's not really an answer to Trevenant. I ran Stone Edge on it, so you're gonna see a few battles with Poison Sting on it. Too many ghosts, too many ghosts, and Trevenant's making a comeback. Everyone's using Annihilate again. Stabilize out there. I don't think Poison Sting is the way to go. I think Mudshot is the way to go in Clodsire. So I started with Poison Sting, went to Mudshot, and then Stone Edge, because it's not a bad idea to try and have a move for Gligar, because Gligar is everywhere, right? So you might as well just have one for that. Plus, you might as well have one for Skarmory. Skarmory and Gligar are everywhere. Might as well just have a Stone Edge for that. So let's look at some battles here. An okay lead. Hearing some noises. I can't tell if it's my kids or what. An okay lead, but this Scald again does quite a lot of chip, plus always a chance of lowering your attack, right? So it's a bad combo, and it gets to it so quick. I don't want to complain about it because it's not there's tons of Pokemon that are strong in this meta, but man, it just seems like the Scald buff, double buff, is really overpowered Whiscash and Poliwrath. I now have to use the second shield on my Medi, where I'm running a Dynamic Punch, which is the better moveset. I do take Switch, but it's that was way closer than it should be, right? For what is a neutral matchup with Medi with the bulk and the moveset that it has. There's your Skarmory, and this is why I have Clodsire and I have it with Stone Edge, because I can't come Frostlass, because Frostlass is taking super effective from the what's it called there? Taking super effective from the Steel Wings, and yeah, so you can't take it. So I come in here. My win condition at this point is I'm gonna get hit with the move. I know that. I need to come out with some energy because I cannot get hit here. They throw Thunderbolt, which actually helps me because now I can just actually farm up a bit. I can't come out and have them Steel Wing me down and then Brave Bird my Clodsire. So I need to come out with enough energy to Avalanche this and take it out. I'm gonna maybe halfway through this video, when I get bored of talking, I'm gonna go look at Triple AXEL versus Avalanche, because I'm debating whether to switch here. Medi, this is a good lead. That's a really good lead. I think this 7 defense is actually attack is actually hurting me in this matchup against this Shadow. I've ran it a couple times and I let this go every single time. And let's see if I get to the move. Okay, this one I get to the move. Maybe this was very, very low attack. I have gone against this match a few times, and a couple times they take me out before I get this second Ice Punch off. So I don't know if it's just an attack stat on their end, or I don't know why that does that. I did grab both shields. Out comes the Annihilate, and this is when I still had Poison Sting, as you see. Poison's resisted. I'll eventually get to the Earthquake. I will need to get to 2 Earthquake. Poison Sting versus Mudshot are both the same energy generation. It's just what hits neutral or what resisted in this case. And with Ghosts are showing up a lot, so I am going Mudshot. Although I did say Ghost is Trevenant's coming up. Trevenant, you'd actually want Poison Sting because it is grass Ghost, which is neutral, and then Mudshot is resisted by the grass. So I do take it out. I'm resisting the sparks, which is huge. And then at this point, once they have to dump their energy, I think just 2 Shadow Balls is the way to go here. And I CMP, which is nice. So I CMP, shield up a Surf, and then I'll get to the next Shadow Ball to take them out. Let's get this. Let's just get PV Poke open because I really want to look at Triple AXEL soon, but I should talk about a few more battles here. Kommo, yeah, this one was a really, I think, easy one. They stayed in, and I'm like, you know, counter's doing neutral. You know I'm going to outpace you to the ice punches. But they decided to stay in, and then I had such an advantage with Triple AXEL. Okay, we'll talk about that in a minute. Yeah, so I already grabbed both shields. They do have to throw again, right? So once you have a 2 shield advantage, it's pretty good. So not much to talk about here. Let's talk about Triple AXEL. I have, for the most part, seen more Pokemon, more FROSLASS run Triple AXEL than I have Avalanche. And if you actually put Avalanche versus Triple AXEL in with the same IVs, Triple AXEL actually has a better win rate in the 1 shield. You lose the Talonflame matchup, but you gain a Ninetales and Shadow Vic, which makes sense because you can just buff your attack. In terms of a stat product here for FROSLASS Avalanche versus Triple AXEL, they're both, yeah, so they're both 45 energy moves, so you aren't getting to it, you're not getting to the move quicker. They're both 45 energy. It's way less damage, 72 damage versus 108 damage. So obviously Avalanche is 2.4 damage per energy versus 1.6. So from that perspective, it's better. But you're just trading off the 100% attack increase. So that, you know what I'm going to do while I'm here? While the battles play out, I want to see how much a second Triple AXEL does in like a neutral matchup. So let's go FROSLASS with Avalanche against an Umbreon, and then we'll go with Triple AXEL to see if it changes the how much damage it changes. Okay, so if you're throwing Avalanche against Umbreon, it does 48 damage for basically 30%. So if 48 for 30%, 48 for 30%. But now if you run Triple AXEL, the first one does 32 for 20%, which we know, and the second one does 40, so it still does less on an Umbreon. So you actually would lose that matchup. So the Avalanche is better there. Okay. So it's interesting. I don't know what the better one is here. I think all three. I honestly think all three. This team worked. Like the toughest are flyers, right? Because you're. That's why you have Stone Edge on CLODSIRE, because otherwise you're in pretty big trouble. And then geez, yeah, fire here. Not much you can do here. This is probably one of the reasons. Actually, it was a fire. I'm like I'm weak to fire, and then I thought about one fire being Skeledirge. So I'm like, I need an answer to Skeledirge, and then a ground type Pokemon is the answer. So I'm pretty sure that's why I put CLODSIRE in, something like that. Anyways, each of these 3 Pokemon I think have a lot of play in this meta. So terrible lead here. I do go CLODSIRE. No, yeah, I do go CLODSIRE. And just good timing here, and knowing that you take one move, you let the first one go, and then start shielding up the other ones. And then fast move time properly here with the 2. Each of these Pokemon have play in this meta. Medi's still strong. It's actually crazy how little Medis I am seeing. Like truly everyone is using Poliwrath as the main fighter now, which I get it. Poliwrath has a ton of coverage, but like this thing still has an insane amount of bulk. And yes, Psychic was nerfed, but Dynamic Punch was possibly a better moveset anyways. Like the Psychic gave you more coverage against like your fairies and ghosts and stuff. So there's a lot of things that you can't really throw with Dynamic Punch. But in neutral situations, Dynamic Punch was always the better move compared to Psychic. So Medi's still great, even though you're not seeing it nearly as much anymore. FROSLASS is another interesting one where it's pretty strong in this meta because think you got Glygars everywhere, you have Poliwrath everywhere, which is kind of like a closer matchup than you would want it to be. But then like other fighters, you resist the counters. There's a decent amount of flyers in this. There's a lot of mud boys, which you do okay against in general situations, right? So FROSLASS has some play. And then CLODSIRE, I think everyone's afraid of using CLODSIRE. Not afraid. I think CLODSIRE was really, really prevalent when it first came out. And I think with I think everyone is using the moveset of Earthquake and Sludge, or what's the fast move? Sludge Bomb or just Sludge? It is Sludge Bomb. Even PV Poke it's number 20 ranked. Poison Sting, Sludge Bomb, Earthquake. And I think the problem with that, and if you look at the rankings here about your matchups, 2 of your hardest losses are against Gligar and Skarmory, which are right now everywhere. And then your other losses getting killed are all the Mud Boys, Swampert and Whiscash, which there's a lot of that. And then Poliwrath's everywhere. So to have some of your main losses be Whiscash, Swampert, Gligar, Skarmory, Pelipper, and then Poliwrath there, like that's like the Great League meta, right? That's the Great League meta. So a lot of people are scared to use it. But then if you look at like some of the matchups it does win, like being able to kind of wall the sparks on Lantern, you'll take super effective from Surfs, but walling the sparks, you'll get to the Earthquakes faster. Azumarill, yes, I changed the Sludge, but like, yeah, actually Azumarill's tougher because it hits super effective into you, so you kind of need the Sludge move for that. But like it's a poison, so is this any charm users? Oh, that's probably why I also did it. I remember the second reason why I put a poison in. Because Medi is weak to, because I just did a video talking about how strong Charm Ninetales is. Go check that out on Sunday. I did a video saying how good Charm Ninetales is, and Charm Ninetales would destroy Medi and FROSLASS because you were Powder Snows are resisted and then just had taken super effective on the Medi. So I needed a poison for it, but I didn't want to do a poison grass because I'm already very weak to Skarmory. So I need something that could at least stay with Skarmory, and that's why I used Stone Edge and thing. There we go. I know there was a reason. I just did not remember in the moment what that reason was. But yeah, the fairy is another big reason. Skarmory lead, lots of damage. Let's see if I stay in and force them to throw or make the instant swap. I don't think they could take me out, so I think I just stay in. I think they're going to have to throw, or else I'm going to need to move. And they time correctly, which is good. And they will have a move, but it's a non-shadow, so I don't really need to worry about this taking out my FROSLASS. I'm probably going to chip with the Whiscash, right? I already said Whiscash has such a strong matchup against the CLODSIRE. But what I am going to do is I'm going to chip, and I'm going to bank a move, because FROSLASS is going to win all the CMPs because it's such an attack-heavy Pokemon. So just making sure I have that Avalanche, bank the rest, catch a move. Yes, it's super effective no matter what it is. CLODSIRE is tanky though, and I'm using Mud Shot again. There's the Mud Boys everywhere. There's Ghosts everywhere. I didn't even talk about taking off Poison Sting because of the Mud Boys, but there's Mud Boys everywhere. I will take this out. and get to another move. I'm pretty sure they take me out quickly, but like it doesn't matter. I have a double super effective. Oh yeah, they undercharge because smart undercharge, right? Because you need to try and get to another move. But it only works if I don't have a move banked, which I do. And I don't think it's too risky of a come in there, but it does take a 1-turn move to switch in. So theoretically, if they had a move, they could have thrown it and taken me out. So that could have been a little risky. I shield the Psycho Boost here, which is kind of dumb to a certain extent because you think they would have an answer for a ghost on their team, and they kind of do with Trevenant. Trevenant has a much better matchup here than I do in this scenario. So they've got a clear advantage here. They're going to take me out. And then Medi is just drawing dead on this team, so I have to try and sweep with CLODSIRE, but they still have a Defense Deoxys, which is a counter user, but it also has Psycho Boost, which is super effective. So yeah, Ghost, again, is tough. That's just the top left. Yeah, there's not much I can do there. This one I did a short on. The first thing, always see if it's a Charm or Powder Snow. Powder Snow is actually not bad. Charm is real bad. So I came in with the really only answer I had to Charm, and that is CLODSIRE. This mid game is boring because they're essentially two tanks throwing many moves at each other. But what you're going to see is I am able to at least grab one shield here, because Flipping Switch doesn't do much for me, quite honestly. Because Flipping Switch is whatever, because FROSLASS is still going to get killed. What I need to do is essentially grab a shield and then come out with a ton of energy on FROSLASS. So I let this foul play go. I get to another Earthquake. I've already grabbed one shield. And if this takes them low enough, that's a good scenario too. And they're going to throw. That's fine. So now my only real win condition is I could come in Medi 2 counters, but what does that really do? Like 5 or 6 Powder Snows, 3, 4, 5. That's already 5. Shield the super effective move. So I'm going to get like 6 or 7 here. 6, 7. So, right? So I'm up to the Shadow Ball. I'm loaded with energy. So if the Ninetales comes in, I'm already at a Shadow Ball. They come in with the Azumarill. So I'm like, okay, FROSLASS is still sort of going to have to be my win con. And I grabbed a shield. And immediately now I know I've got a shot here. Because they're down shields and a Shadow Ball will one-shot. However, they also just throw Ice Beam. And now I get to Dynamic Punch. And again, having Dynamic Punch is way better than having Psychic now in neutral matchups. And this is neutral. And I now take it out. So I've got a shield, have a Shadow Ball. I talked about this in my video yesterday. I wish I sped this up, but I wish I could slow it down. Okay, so take this out. They take me out. That's fine. I do one Powder Snow. They do one bubble, right? You see the bubble coming through here. And my Powder Snow is going through there. I throw the Shadow, and a second bubble comes through. I'm pretty sure that wasn't just... Was that a second bubble coming through, or is that just the animation finishing? Maybe that was the animation finishing. Maybe I have to take that back. What I thought was that a second bubble came through, and I'm like, that doesn't make sense because it's a 2-turn move versus a 3-turn move. There's no way a second bubble could come through, but maybe it's just the animation ending. And then Guzzlord here. Really good lead. This seems like a hard counter team already. I killed them on the lead. I'm killing them here. Again, Surf super effective, but the sparks are so resisted that it does not matter. I could take another one. Get the one Earthquake off. I'll get to a second Earthquake too before they get to another move. So they're really in trouble here. And I know they're fighting for a switch too, but... okay, I guess they're not fighting that hard. I'm at an Earthquake. I think they come into something else and try and get ahead on energy. Like a Mantine. Yeah, Pelipper. Yeah, I come in with Pelipper, but I have a Stone Edge and they shield. And then I get another Stone Edge and they shield again. So being down 2 shields when I have 2 answers for your back Pokemon is not the greatest scenario. I think they do sort of do it right here, and I was aware of it. They're really only the win condition is if they land a Hurricane on me so that they can get some chip on Medi. But I do shield up a Hurricane. I expect to catch. I'm just going to bank the move, and then this is just too easy. Already got to move, bank plus shield, and then this game's over. So that's a team. Like I said, I think all 3 have play in this meta. Again, no one's using, not no one, but a lot less people are using Medi because Psychic got nerfed. But like Dynamic Punch moveset is so strong, and the meta is still very favorable to Medi, right? You have, okay, the new Annihilate, you would want Psychic to be able to hit for super effective on it as opposed to resisted damage. So that would be worse. But Skarmory's everywhere, so that's neutral with Dynamic Punch. You have Gligar, Ice Punch, great. Again, Psychic would be better on Poliwrath, but you'd still beat Poliwrath, taking resisted from their counters. What else is meta? Lickitung, you'd still dominate there. You're always going to have problems with Sableye. This team really doesn't have a good answer for Sableye, now that I look at it. That's probably why also I like Mudshot, Earthquake, Clodsire is probably like the best suit. I think you have to use Mudshot if you're going to use this team. So tons of good Pokemon like answers for Medi to deal with in the Open Ultra League. And then FROSLASS, like I said, good coverage, a little Glacier, but hits pretty strong. And then Clodsire, tanky. I think a lot of people are just scared given the meta. Again, tough to run it when you have Skarmories and Whiscash and all the Mud Boys and stuff everywhere, but I think it still has a decent amount of play. Anyways, that is it. Thanks for watching. So this one was kind of I can feel it. Sometimes I'm like really in the zone, and then sometimes I'm just like, I feel like my brain's a little scattered here. Anyways, that is it. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.